But you have to be David Goggins and say, man, I'm afraid of this. I'm fucked up here. Life made me this way here. I stutter. I have these issues with reading and writing, and I'm fat and I'm insecure. You have to face that in that dark room.
Or of what you want to become like over time. So I don't know. I think probably people are too, in general, objective focused, and maybe not focused enough on the connections and the people who they're basically building relationships.
Without realizing it, they don't realize they have a zero-sum mindset, or at least they don't realize it consciously. And so if you have a zero-sum mindset, then the only way to get ahead is by taking things from others.
Here's the secret to self-control. The secret to self-control is to give up control. Because otherwise, we get into a tug of war with a monster, a craving monster. And the craving monster says, come on, smoke a cigarette. Come on, have that cookie. Come on. And you're on the other side saying, no, craving monster, I'm going to distract myself from you. I'm going to ignore you. No. And craving monster says, no, come on, you know you want it. And you're just back here and you're going back and forth and back and forth. And pretty soon the craving monster overpowers you. You have that cookie, you have that cigarette, until the craving monster comes back. And then you're in the tug of war again, doing what we've learned how to do. Unless you drop the rope.
So you can reverse your childhood by who you associate with.
How do you do that?
Well, you find people that are where you want to be, but they're already there. You're 22 years old, you're 32, you're 41 years old, and there's a guy or a gal who's 45 years old who is where you want to be. They've accomplished a lot of things. If you're into, they're saving the world, they're using their money for good causes, go associate with those people, be around those people. And they're easy to find, but they're not going to knock on your door. They're not going to come to your apartment or your flat and ask you, oh, can I help you?
As you guys know, there's nothing you can't accomplish. You're going to go on, you're going to become world champions. The key for me, what I think one of the keys is, remember where you came from, keep that in the front of your mind, and when goes bad and it goes sideways, a lot of does, you're getting booed out of the building, or you're coming through this injury, or people are writing you off, oh, you guys ain't make it, any of that, you gotta keep it in here. And it really has to, it should drive you, it should. It works for me, it should drive you. You get all the talent in the world, it's all here. Really, the two things I want to say are, you got to be the hardest worker in the room, and don't flip the opportunity out.
Every single day, or at least every single week, if you want to take your compass needle and start remagnetizing it in a positive direction by exposing yourself to the kind of information that supports your potential and your greatness and where you want to go. Now, there's no excuse for not being able to do that now in a society where it's so available. But if you're not choosing to do that, by default, you're going to be hooked into somebody else's agenda. If you don't start filming as the star of the movie in your life, by default, you're going to end up as a film extra in somebody else's.
We all have this negative self-talk that goes in our head. Guess what? There's enough people that are telling us we can't do it, that we're not good enough. Why do we want to tell ourselves that? We know for a fact that thoughts influence actions. We saw it there with the video Sheldon, Dr. Levy showed, right? We know that our thoughts influence actions. Why do we want to say that negative self-talk to ourselves? We need to get our own self-affirmations. Muhammad Ali, what was his self-affirmation? I am the greatest. Who else is going to tell you? There need to be quiet moments in your bedroom, quiet moments when you're brushing your teeth, that we need to reaffirm, I am the captain of my ship and the master of my fate. That is my affirmation. I came from a school of 1,000 people. I lived in a town of 1,000 people for 15 years. There's no reason that I should be in charge of the National Athletic Department building Maple Leaf Gardens. But I am the captain of my ship and the master of my fate. If I don't say it, if I don't believe it, no one else will. How do you build self-confidence? Get away from the people who will tear you down. There's enough of that.